Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are jumping head first into the explosive beginning of the drama series Meri Zindagi. We're going to unpack the first 3 episodes and see how this intense story kicks off. Okay, so let's get right into it. It all starts on New Year's Eve, when 2 very different worlds literally collide. Our protagonist, Ayra, is furious after a car accident and yells at a total stranger, "Watch your mouth! Aren't you ashamed of wasting your father's money?" Little does she know, the man she just insulted is about to turn her entire world upside down. Now, this is way more than just a fender bender. The accident, which happens because Ayra's brother dozed off for a second, is the spark that just blows the lid off the massive gap between our 2 main characters.
So on one side, you've got Ayra. She's a brilliant, principled medical student, and she comes from this really loving, tight-knit family. And on the other side, there's Kamyar. He's a hot-headed, super rich heir from a pretty cold and broken home. And frankly, he hates having to work for his father.
What should have been a simple insurance issue just spirals completely out of control. When Ayra's brother Nadir steps in to defend her, Kamyar's temper just explodes. And with one punch, just one, he knocks Nadir out cold. So yeah, this isn't about an accident anymore. A line has just been crossed. But it doesn't stop there. Not even close. That single punch, it kicks off this dangerous and honestly shocking cycle of revenge. So Ayra, she's not gonna let this go. She finds Kamyar's fancy limited edition sports car and lets the air out of his tires. It's kind of petty, right? A small act of defiance. Kamyar's response, though, it's completely off the rails. He finds her family's brand new car, a gift from their dad, and he burns it to the ground. And Ayra's defiance here, it is just unshakable. Kamyar actually shows up the next day with a new car, trying to throw money at the problem. But Ayra throws the keys right back in his face. She makes it crystal clear this was never about a car. It's about respect. It's about accountability. 2 things he seems to know nothing about. And this is where the story takes a really dark turn. See, Akira's rejection doesn't make him back off. Instead, it's like something just snaps inside him. His motivation shifts from just being a spoiled, angry rich kid to something way more unsettling, way more dangerous. He starts following her. And that line between trying to get someone's attention and outright harassment, it gets really blurry really fast. He's not just reacting to her anymore, he is actively hunting her, forcing himself into every single corner of her life. I mean, the relentlessness here is chilling. He shows up at the hospital where her dad is a patient. Then he tracks her down on her university campus. And then he just parks his car on her street and sits there, watching her house all night long. His presence becomes this constant, terrifying threat. And his new obsession becomes terrifyingly clear when he corners her at the university. He's not even angry anymore. He tells her that his heart is stuck on her, and that, get this, she doesn't have the option to say no. Yeah, this is not about revenge anymore. This is about ownership. Meanwhile, Ayra's family, especially her brother Nadir, can see how much this is messing with her. And they can't just stand by and watch forever. This whole thing is about to boil over. After Kamyar basically taunts him outside the university, daring him to get even for that first punch, Nadir just snaps. He and his friends find Kamyar, drag him out of his car, and beat him so badly that he ends up hospitalized with some serious injuries. But here's the thing. In trying to be the protective big brother, Nadir has just accidentally handed Kamyar the ultimate weapon. The hospital prepares an official medical report on the assault, which is a legal document that could send Nadir to prison for years. And that brings us to the final, chilling escalation in these first few episodes, where the power dynamic between them gets sealed, not by choice, but by pure force. So think about it from Ayra's perspective. Her brother is facing serious jail time. Her family's reputation is on the line. She's basically become a hostage to this whole situation. She's left with an impossible choice, so she goes to the hospital to face Kamyar. And this is his endgame. Lying in that hospital bed, holding the medical report, Kamyar lays out his ultimatum. He doesn't want money. He doesn't want an apology. He wants her. He demands that she becomes his friend. And if she says no, he'll press charges. It's her freedom for her brother's Landi. Defeated, she has no choice, right? She agrees. And as she watches, he slowly tears that medical report into pieces, destroying the evidence right in front of her. He has just made her his prisoner in a quote-unquote friendship that she wants absolutely no part of. But just when you think it can't get any crazier, it does. Kamyar's influential father gets the police involved, and they haul Azra's whole family in for questioning. But then Kamyar himself shows up, and he takes full responsibility for everything, telling the police he burned his own car and that the family is innocent. He saves them, but in doing so, he just makes her unwilling debt to him even deeper. And that's where we leave them, trapped together by threats and a really twisted sense of obligation. This forced connection sets a terrifying stage for the rest of the series. And it just leaves you wondering, how much farther is this dangerous obsession going to go?
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are plunging into, well, a spectacular narrative mess.
That's a good way to put it.
It's a story that starts with a simple car accident and then just spirals. We're talking extreme revenge, high-stakes family drama, and one of the most bizarre, immediate fixations we've ever seen in our source material.
Yeah, we're analyzing the transcripts from the first 3 episodes of Meri Zindagi Hai Tu, and it's amazing how much they pack into just, 72 hours?
Exactly. Startling violence, these reckless displays of wealth, and then a complete legal reversal.
It truly is a study in acceleration. The sources just throw us right into the aftermath of a New Year's Eve incident. You immediately see these two vastly different social worlds collide.
It's a story about power, really.
Absolutely. This deep dive is fundamentally about power. And we'll see how quickly concepts like, justice and personal responsibility just dissolve when you introduce extreme money and high-level connections into the mix.
So our mission today is clear. We need to unpack this chaotic timeline. We have to understand the dynamic between the volatile, wealthy antagonist, Kamyar,
Right.
and the focused, integrity-driven medical student. The source material names her both Ayra and Falak, so for consistency, we'll call her Falak.
And her brother Nadir. We need to figure out how a minor road mishap became the foundation for this destructive, almost immediate obsession.
Okay, so let's start right at the point of impact.
The initial catalyst is, surprisingly mundane. Nadir, Falak's brother, is driving late. It's after New Year's celebrations.
And he falls asleep at the wheel.
He falls asleep at the wheel, causes a mishap. It seems minor, but Kamyar, the other driver, he reacts with this horrifyingly disproportionate violence.
The sources are, they're pretty graphic about this assault.
Oh, absolutely. Kamyar doesn't just, get into a fight. He severely beats Nadir.
To the point of hospitalization, right?
Yep, exactly. He's hospitalized, temporarily unconscious even. Later, he's talking about persistent ringing in his ears, sharp stomach pain. It's a serious assault.
And Kamyar's justification for this is just immediate and so revealing. He felt endangered.
Right. In his mind, the near-death experience doesn't give the living the right to kill others. He feels absolutely 100% justified in his brutality.
And that's the first fault line we see. Kamyar believes in immediate physical correction for any wrong.
So Falak, naturally, is furious. She insists on the only path to justice they know.
Filing a police report.
Exactly. But this is where their sort of middle-class professional world clashes with that idea of confrontation. Her father, a doctor, immediately says no.
He points out Nadir's initial fault that sleeping while driving is also wrong. But the bigger concern is avoiding legal hassles.
And that's a crucial piece of context for you to understand. Nadir is undergoing his house job year.
Which is like a required medical residency post-graduation.
Precisely. Any legal trouble, any police involvement during this critical training year could easily jeopardize his entire career, his future, the family's reputation.
So avoiding that is their top priority, even over getting justice for the violence.
So because that respectable path is blocked, Falak's desire for retribution gets funneled into an extra-legal revenge plot.
Her friend group, Naomi and Hira, they get involved. Driven by Falak's fury, they decide to take action.
And this is where the narrative shifts from personal violence to, deliberate economic warfare.
Yeah, they track down Kamyar's highly expensive limited edition car.
The sources are very specific about the expense. It's a statement of status. And the commentary layered into the sources by the friends is extremely powerful.
Oh, right. One of them says that such luxury does not suit people in a country where 40% of children are malnourished.
Exactly. So this isn't just about the accident. It's about attacking Kamyar's privilege directly.
That economic commentary is so key. It signals to us that the friends see Kamyar not just as a violent individual, but as a symptom of unjust power.
And their revenge is far beyond minor vandalism. They slash the tires and, crucially, The evidence later confirms they either burned or completely destroyed the vehicle.
It's a deliberate, huge commitment to destruction, meant to inflict significant pain on his most prized possession.
It's poetic justice in their eyes. The symbol of his status is destroyed, while the symbol of their future nadir's career was protected from the police. But this act of aggression instantly raises the stakes for both families.
And this clash is only possible because the families operate under completely different rules.
Yeah.
Let's look at Kamyar's ecosystem first.
Okay, so it's defined by extreme, unquestioned wealth and immense political reach.
His connections are staggering.
They are. We learn his father can call the DG directly. And for context, the DGI, the Deputy Inspector General, is a very senior police official.
So his father doesn't just know people. He knows people who can influence the entire legal system instantly.
Mm-hmm. And Kamyar, despite this powerful safety net, is highly irresponsible. His father is constantly worried, lamenting his chaotic behavior. He says, "Your yesterday and today have become intertwined."
The sources really paint him as completely erratic. The father is so worried, in fact, that when Kamyar withdraws a massive sum of money, 40 lakh rupees...
His dad's first thought is drugs.
Right. That his son is involved in drug use.
And to clarify for you, a lakh is a unit in the South Asian numbering system. It's 100,000. So 40 lakh rupees is 4 million rupees.
Yeah, huge sum.
A huge sum. And this massive withdrawal, it underscores two things. First, the sheer scale of the family's liquid assets. And second, the father's deep anxiety about Kamyar's volatility.
Even his ex-girlfriend Farida, she says he doesn't have a heart. He just lives purely for impulse.
Now, compare that to Falak's world.
It's respectable, built on meritocracy and discipline. She's a dedicated medical student focused on her house job, her goal of taking over her father's clinic.
Their power is based on professional reputation, not, political leverage.
And her personal life also reveals the pressure she's under. Her mother calls, but the conversation is tense, accusatory.
Yeah, all about her perceived lack of respect for her stepfather. She's juggling these profound family expectations while maintaining this intense career focus. There is just no room for the kind of chaos that Kamyar represents.
So the core value contrast couldn't be sharper. Falak prioritizes professional integrity, a planned future, operating within rules.
And Kamyar operates entirely outside of them. He prioritizes instant gratification, conflict. He even views conflict as necessary. He believes if someone does wrong, their misunderstanding should be corrected immediately.
Whether through violence or, as we're about to see, through obsessive pursuit.
And this brings us to the most complex and, frankly, unsettling pivot in the narrative.
Kamyar's obsession.
His immediate, profound, and just bizarre obsession with Falak. It begins right after their explosive confrontation and her, successful revenge. He just admits it to her face. "My heart got stuck on you."
It's fascinating. He doesn't see the conflict as a reason to stay away. He sees it as the spark, the ultimate challenge.
It's almost as if he's so bored by his privileged life that he's drawn to the one person who dares to strike back.
And his first attempt to fix this is through the only tool he truly respects: money.
Of course. He tries to buy their forgiveness and just erase the entire car-burning crime. He shows up with a brand new replacement car.
Driven straight from the showroom.
And it cost 4 million rupees. Even more than the one they destroyed. He literally tries to settle the entire score financially.
But Falak, true to her integrity, refuses. She calls him shameless, says they can't be bought.
And the most telling detail is her instruction to the cleaner to just dispose of the keys, literally throw them in the trash.
It's not just a rejection of the money. It's a rejection of the idea that his wealth can solve his moral failings.
And this rejection is catastrophic for Kamyar. It's something he has clearly never experienced before. It shatters his entitlement.
It sends him into a spiral.
It does. He tells Falak he's bored with his friends, his life. He says, "I can't sleep, I can't think straight." He transitions instantly from attempted financial compensation to full-blown stalking.
It's a breakdown fueled by entitlement. He starts by sitting outside her house all night, then he moves to the corner of her street to keep watch.
Follows her to the university, insisting they just talk or have coffee. He even offers to stand on one leg.
A ridiculous gesture of subservience that completely masks his controlling, obsessive intent.
Which raises an important question. Is this really about attraction? Or is the source material pointing to a pattern where he sees conflict and rejection as just a new, entertaining challenge?
One that his wealth should solve.
Exactly. His pursuit is basically an attempt to acquire the one thing, Falak's attention, that his money hasn't been able to secure.
And Falak's defensive strategy is brilliant. She treats his behavior exactly as the pathology it is.
She does. No moral arguments. She just offers him numbers for psychiatrists.
Confirms she finds him annoying, and just reiterates her position with absolute clarity. No is the only option.
But as we've established, the word no seems to be fundamentally incompatible with Kamyar's world.
So, his highly erratic behavior finally forces the legal system to intervene, but not on her terms.
Right. His all-night disappearance outside her house prompts his worried father to activate his connections. He calls the D-die.
And a high-level search for his son begins.
Because of that high-level intervention, the police use tracking and location data. They quickly figure out that Kamyar's car and his mobile were parked right outside Falak's house for hours.
And this information completely reverses the victim-aggressor dynamic.
Suddenly, Falak and her doctor father are brought to the police station for questioning. They're suspects.
The police think they might have kidnapped him, or at the very least had something to do with the disappearance and the burning of his original car.
An incident which, ironically, her family never even reported because they were trying to avoid legal hassles.
It's the ultimate consequence of confronting power directly.
But here's where Kamyar, the antagonist, performs the shocking pivot. He finally arrives at the police station, having been tracked down.
And he takes immediate, masterful control.
What's so fascinating here is he doesn't just clear his family's name. He elevates Falak and her father's status. He immediately shields them.
He falsely confesses to the police that he had driven their car and then apologizes to them, Falak and her father, for the trouble.
It's incredible. He tells the police he has no complaint and, unbelievably, insists that the police themselves apologize to Falak's family for the distress.
It is the ultimate display of using power to manipulate a situation. By forcing the police to apologize and confessing to a non-existent crime, he protects Falak from legal consequences while solidifying his protective role in her eyes.
He's using his family's influence to clear the slate, creating a new, bizarre debt of gratitude.
And the sources confirm the clean sweep. Thanks to his father's powerful friend Sohail, no official complaint is filed.
Against anyone. The father dismisses the expensive burnt car. The physical evidence of the revenge plot is merely charity to his daughters. The entire legal mess is just erased.
But the emotional conflict remains. Kamyar assures Falak that he will wait for her no matter how long, even if she keeps saying no.
And that's where the first 3 episodes end. The legal slate is wiped clean by power, but the emotional struggle and the obsession is just beginning.
Absolutely. Within 72 hours of the new year, we have seen extreme violence, a huge revenge plot, and a complete legal reversal where wealth dictates the outcome.
The key takeaway is how Kamyar's family influence allowed him to erase the consequences of both his initial assault and Falak's massive act of revenge, all while framing the entire confrontation as, chapter 1 of his obsessive pursuit.
That protective act at the police station was less about nobility.
And more about securing his claim, yeah.
Indeed. So we see Falak trying to uphold her professional integrity against the fundamental chaos Kamyar embodies. Kamyar claims his obsessive behavior is born out of a desire to change, to be a better man for her.
But does this behavior represent genuine, however warped, attraction? Or is it merely another symptom of a privileged person who is just incapable of hearing the word no?
Seeing rejection only as a challenge to be conquered, we leave you with this provocative thought. Which outcome ultimately poses the greater danger to Falak's hard-earned professional future?